Welcome to the Stephen Mansfield Podcast.
Welcome to the Stephen Mansfield Podcast. I'm so glad you've joined me, and I have some good news in this podcast today. If you are a regular listener, you know that I have hammered the Trump administration for its lack of support for the Kurds. When there was a referendum for independence last year in the northern part of Iraq, the Kurdish regional government area, the Trump administration actually sat by silently while the Baghdad and Shia militia invaded the Kurdish region. It was an atrocity. It was just horrible. There's been lack of support when Turkey's moved in. There's lack of support for the Syrian Kurds. It's been miserable. But something wonderful happened this past week. In Erbil, in the Kurdish region of northern Iraq, there was a groundbreaking for a brand new consulate. Now, we just had a diplomatic office there, and then we had a consulate, and now the Trump administration has broken ground on a gigantic consulate in Erbil. This is fantastic news for those of us who are supporters of the Kurds. Listen, this thing is $750 million. It is larger than the Vatican. It is 80 football fields large. I mean, it's going to be big. It's going to be secure. It's going to be prominent. And I'll tell you what, this is just a little bit of I'm saying this with a wink over the air, that this could be down the road the site of an actual embassy when the Kurds go independent. That might be behind the thinking here, because I will tell you that the Trump administration, as angry as it is with Turkey and President Erdogan, it is also angry with Baghdad. Baghdad is clearly run by Shiites. It's clearly in the pocket of Iran, and the Trump administration is fed up with them. So good news, a massive, massive consulate is being built there. In fact, it's the largest in the world and one of the and certainly the most modern in terms of its technology. And like I say, 80 football fields in size, and it's going to be right there, just on the edge of Erbil in northern Iraq. That's the capital of the Kurdish regional area. I'll tell you what, this is exciting because it shows, first of all, the Trump administration's paying attention. It shows, second of all, the Trump administration's willing to defy both Baghdad and Turkey. And it shows, finally, that we might just be laying the foundation for an independent Kurdistan, which is something I'm not even sure, I wasn't sure anyway, that the Trump administration even understood. Let me tell you some other good news. The Trump administration approved a large package of weaponry to support the Kurds, especially the Kurds in Syria, the YPG, Kurdish Syrian Kurds, and this so infuriated Erdogan in Turkey that he actually invaded the Syrian Kurds and went after them. So what's good news about this is not just that we're ticking off the right people, although God knows we are. If we tick off Baghdad and Erdogan in Turkey, we're doing the right thing, but also that we've gotten serious about supporting the Kurds, that we are building a facility there long term, that we are not just seeing the Kurdish region as part of Iraq only, that it's not going to be an independent area, that it doesn't need serious connection to the U.S. government, and we might be laying the foundation long term for an embassy there. I believe strongly, as you know if you listen to this podcast, that we ought to be helping the Kurds go independent. The Kurds are the largest people group in the world without their own homeland, 35 million strong. They have fought for the U.S. They have fought alongside the U.S. They have defended us. They have been loyal allies. They're the primary boots on the ground against ISIS, which has been largely defeated. They remain loyal. They remain helpful. They've had many martyrs, many men wounded, many men damaged, women as well, who are some of the primary fighters, by the way, phenomenal female snipers, phenomenal female fighters. Unbelievable. And so now we're at a turning point in the Trump administration's approach to the Kurds. The Trump administration, so I'm told by insiders, is absolutely infuriated by Baghdad, infuriated by Turkey. And this is very, very significant because my read has been that the Trump administration, and I think this frankly came out of some arrogance on Donald Trump's part, they thought they could negotiate with Erdogan. They thought they could make a deal. They thought they could win him over. I mean, he's a NATO ally, and we've become convinced that we need him. But I got to tell you what, I don't think we do. I don't think we need Turkey. Turkey's sick and it's weak. And it's divided, and Erdogan is a dictator. He just absolutely faked an election here recently and drove off the opposition and called the election early because his opposition was gaining support and popularity. I mean, it's absolutely atrocious what this man is doing. And so I've long advocated not only for the support for an independent Kurdistan, but that we move our air base from Incirlik. You see, the main reason we pander to Turkey is that we love having a big air base there, right in the divide between Asia and Europe, but we could move that air base into the Kurdish region. Baghdad would never dare stop that, and then we would be able, I think, to function better. We'd be able to support the Kurds better, and we would stand as a check. That facility would stand as a check on what's going on in Turkey, because Turkey is becoming a tyrannical dictatorship. President Erdogan's actually made speeches in the last couple of years where he's talked about retaking Jerusalem in a crusade, and this is one of our allies. This is our NATO ally, someone we're sucking up to because we have an air base in Incirlik. Well, I believe we can move that air base to Erbil, and that might even be in the minds of some people. I mean, after all, 80 football fields large? I mean, I realize on the one hand, that's about security and keeping terrorists at bay, because there's no question this base is going to be struck. But it's also obviously large enough to have a pretty significant air base there, pretty significant facilities if needed. So who knows what is being conceived in the minds of our military strategists, but this is unbelievably good news. The weapons package is unbelievably good news. The Trump administration has awakened to the Kurds. They're doing the right thing. They should be talking to the American people about this, and they should be checking Erdogan, but this is great news. Celebrate it, encourage it, congratulate those of you who have congressmen who voted for this thing, congratulate them, and let's continue to support the Kurds, other than Israel, our best ally in the Middle East.
Stephen Mansfield is a New York Times best-selling author, a popular speaker, and a frequent faith and culture commentator on Fox and CNN. His groundbreaking books on faith and society include The Faith of George W. Bush, The Search for God in Guinness, Mansfield's Book of Manly Men, and Lincoln's Battle with God. Learn more at stephenmansfield.tv.